Checking in here on Wednesday, February 5th, 20 and the 25. This is my mother's 77th birthday. So wish Sandy, Sandi, wish Sandy a happy birthday in the comments below, please. She'll be here in about an hour and a half for dinner. Got some venison steaks that are gonna be cooking those up on the grill. Little Brussels sprouts, so delicious. If you don't like Brussels sprouts, that only means you do not know how to prepare them. So just look on the old TikTok. I don't go on the TikTok, but my wife sends me many TikToks about recipes and Shih Tzus all the time. And I humor her, and from on occasion, I'll look those over. So here we go. On this day, we are at another all time high, just barely. Yesterday's was 2.748, and now we're at 2.784. Flip those last two numbers around. So that is 6 out of the last 7 trading days, all-time highs. Nowhere near the all-time highs of the day. I won't even show you those because we'll be getting to those in real time, in real life, in video very soon. So what do we got? Okay, so the AGQ calls that I do not want to lose, but I've done the math back and forth, and I'll let them go if I have to. And if I let them go at the current strike price, which is $40, and AGQ is trading at 41.77 as we speak, then I will make $61,750 in that short-term trade, and that includes the $6,500 in premium that I have collected for selling 2 rounds of covered calls. But this number is coming down. It was down. Recently, it was down like $21,000, and AGQ has taken a little bit of a turn, not a big one, but a little bit of a turn down. So we'll be watching that closely tomorrow. If it makes a big move south tomorrow, then I'll probably just buy them closed so I can keep those shares, but we will see. Down over $1,000 on my GDX short. A little early. Might be real early, but I do have until March 21st for this trade to work, and it will work before that time is up. Tried to sell these closed today. I was looking for 12 grand. Never did catch it. And and gold went down after that. Looks like it's trying to make a little bit of an after hours move back up a bit. So we'll see. I anticipate a move south in both gold and silver within the next few days, but it could easily extend, and if we get into a short squeeze, it will extend violently. So I am still set up for that. Got the 26 calls, 600 of those contracts. It was up as high as maybe 57,000 today. Now at 46,998, and all the rest are a little bit in the money. Missing something there, aren't we? Yeah, TMF got stopped out at TMF today. We'll get to the spreadsheet in uno momento. And yes, I did short Bitcoin. So we'll look at the chart as to how I came to that conclusion. And I shorted it after hours. So it wasn't that long after the market closed. I put in a limit order for Biddy, and at the time, Bitcoin was at about 97,500, and it currently is at 96,421. So far, so good on that. It's just a little trade just to test the skills that pay the bills. So here is what happened. Here's our TMF. I did get stopped out of all 12,000 shares at 43.30. I had the stop at 43.32, but sometimes it skips right through that. So I was at a 42.32 average. So we turned a $67,000 loss into an $11,715 gain just by being patient. Well, 2 things. One, buying my way down to Chinatown as it continued to fall, and then being patient. So we collected like $3,000 in, is it 3 grand? I did sell a round of calls on that, right? Yeah, there they are. So we got 3,000 also. We'd already booked it because it was expired. So between the trade and the premium from the covered calls, we ended up at $14,715 bills. And there is our biddy. Got 1,000 shares at 22.88. And so far, so good on that. Um, we'll watch that, but we'll get to the charts right here and right now just to see what's happening. Silver, this is what I'm looking at currently, and this is spot. I think the A is very close to being in place. A B down, and then a C up even higher, coming to a theater near you very shortly. So this is my hope that on this move, I'm able to get out of those covered calls without having to pay too much money in order to do so. This is futures still, slapping around in that box that we had set up a long, long time ago. Have we begun our way down for an ABC? We shall see. Gold and silver being very resilient over the last few days. In fact, you can see the futures still moving as we speak. GDX, my short, I think I shorted where did I short? It was it was in this range, maybe 39.80 or whatever that was when I was shorting. And then it just blasted off since then. I still think this will be filled, that gap. So look for that over the next week or so. USO still definitely feels like it's consolidating into a bottom here, but I haven't pulled the trigger yet. We got this. We want these to pretty much meet, but you see the RSI is decided to continue to go down today. I would imagine it's going to begin to turn up tomorrow, and those things should meet. And if we get an impulsive 5 waves off of the low, then I'll be looking to re-enter, and I'll use UCO, which is a 2 times directional ETF on the USO. Yeah, during this down move here, I got stopped out. But if you look after hours, it is up. So there's no way this trade, I should say, there's no way this move to the north is over yet. So I will now wait for the next retracement and enter again, because this may get hit tomorrow, may get hit Friday. And I, will have missed out on a bunch of gains in my TMF, but that's okay. There's always the next pitch. And as Warren Buffett will tell you, when he studied the Ted Williams book of hitting, and Ted showed his batting average within the strike zone where his hot spot is, he would just wait for those pitches. And that's why Ted Williams is probably the greatest hitter in baseball history. And this is the reason that I became a little aggressive in my stops. So we hit the target of 3 like rapidly. And you know what TLT and TMF like to do? They like to fill gaps. So, after battling that thing it was right before Christmas, I was sitting in the parking lot of, it's either Hobby Lobby or Home Goods. Lady Spends a Lot was inside. I was like, hey, TLT looks ripe for the taking. So I started getting in on the TMF, and it just kept going down. And it went down for weeks, and I kept buying. Ended up with the 12,000 shares, and then promised myself that once we got 10,000 plus, I would probably become a little tight with the stops. And you know how I do. I get in early and get out early. I don't want to get out early. It's just what I've been doing. And you see our big red arrow. You watched the video where we put that in when it was up here, and it did it again. Because this is why I put this line here, which was like, hey, hit your head, almost hit your head, hit your head, hit your head. And then again, so we got this move down, bounced right back up to that that resistance as far as the bond yields are concerned, and then has plummeted since, and that's what got us into the money. So, for instance, that's exactly where I had my stop set, 43.32. It was a round number based on where my position was, which was 42.32. Got stopped out at 43.30, but you see since then it's already gone up back up after hours at 43.42. That's all right, mama. That's all right. Uh-oh. Bitcoin running. Little run, little big little arrow, or I mean little candle up. So this was just, I didn't like the way that this was reacting because I thought we had this thing pegged because we blew up the ABC. So I'm like, oh, that's 5 down, but this now looks impulsive to go 5 up. Got a nice 3, almost a perfect 4. And I'm like, this is set up to go north. Then it did a weird meander. Is it an ending diagonal? I don't know. I think 96,282. No. So we still haven't taken out this 4. But I just looked at the short-term picture, and what I saw was an ABC forming on the way down. So that's what's going on in my mind at this moment. It could be traveling all the way down here into the low 90s. So that's what we'll be watching for. And then tomorrow, if Bitcoin isn't reacting the way that I anticipate, then we'll be looking to have very tight stops so we don't lose too much money. SPX is like, look at that. Look at that. We put this in. You saw it live. I'm like, I think we got an ABC, nailed the A, put in the B, and now the C is in place. C is in place, and look what it's done since then. Hello. So now I haven't counted these yet. Definitely looks like 3 up, and we'll be looking for 5 up. Yeah. This is short term, 1 day, 1 minute. A little, I don't know what, I don't want to tell you too much, but I'm a little upset right now. An old real estate friend of mine, a couple that I met back in, I don't know, 1999. He was being transferred here from Pennsylvania, U.S. Steel. I was young. They were younger. They're probably 2 to 3 years younger than me. Just hit it off right away. We became fast friends. They bought a house. They've sold a house, bought another house. And she's been battling cancer for about 15 years. And just a beautiful, amazing, extremely lovable couple. And she's towards the end of that battle. So I'm a little upset. All right, I'm a lot upset. Just remind you how fragile we all are. And when that someone cuts you off in traffic, just, don't bother with that. Don't bother getting upset with any jackwagons. Don't let someone take your power away in that regard. And we've talked about it before, between stimulus and response is a space. In that space is your freedom. In that space is your power. Someone cuts you off in traffic, you can't faze me. You can't bother me. My life's too good. Those around me I love too much to let you, some jackwagon, affect my emotions. Yeah, easier said than done, but we have to work on these things in order to live the best life that we can. So that is what's going on right now up in these charts. Got down to 1 position. Now we're at 2. Very tiny position here. I'll be playing that one very tight. But again, just trying, I like to put my money where my mouth is as far as where I think things might be going based on probabilities, based on the charts. Elliott Wave / Fibonacci. My friend, Fibonacci Liberace. Okay, so that's that. Sorry to end it on a kind of a low note, but you know what? Man, and when we moved into this house on Valentine's Day 2007. It was a couple weeks later. We had a house party. They and this couple was at that party, and it was that night that um, is this graphic? I don't think it is, but it was that night that lady became pregnant with kid three, and the same night that couple became pregnant with their youngest boy. So we've always found that to be a funny story. So before I start crying in front of you, I'm going to end this video. But thank you so much for joining me. Like, subscribe, comment, share this video and this channel with a lovable friend. And I'll check in again tomorrow. Tomorrow. We'll keep trading tomorrow. And hopefully our trades will work out. See you in the next video.